Kerry, the national standard cost valuations.
Yep, just been released by IRD late January, so this is one of the first methods that accountants use to value livestock in the end of year accounts. They've released them and they've come out and said, look, beef and sheep are up by 5 to 6%. The interesting thing is both dairy goats and dairy cattle are both down around 22%.
That's a big drop.
It is, but it reflects the cost of producing an animal from birth right through to maturity. So they're saying they're a bit cheaper to produce than what your sheep and beef cattle are now.
So how do we use these figures?
It depends on what you're doing in terms of your farm. Like some farms say, oh, I've just got to use that value everything. It's not that simple. It depends on your farming policies, etc. So it's really a case of talking to your accountant and they work through what the best way of valuing livestock is. So you've got this, and then later in the year we have around sort of May, the IRD releasing the herd values. So it's a complex thing that you've got to work through year to year.
So this is basically looking at assets, isn't it?
Yeah, this is just basically saying at the end of the year, what was your livestock worth on the farm? And both schemes give different values and have different tax implications.
So when dairying cows and dairying goats drop 22%, what's the implication?
It means that basically if you've got the same number of cows, same aging, etc., by the end of the financial year, they're worth less than what you had at the start of the year. So you could potentially have a lower profit.
A lower profit.
A lower profit, yeah. It just depends on the mix of the age, etc. So not guaranteed. There's a lot of factors that come into it.
See, okay. I think ring the accountant.
You've got to talk to the accountant. So when you bring your books into, you say, look, what livestock method are we using this year, and go through that discussion.
Okay, that's okay. As I said, ring your accountant. GST system.
Yeah, so IRD have finally got their new system up and running. There's some good and bad points to it. Probably the bad one that everyone's seen in the media was the fact that it happened over a time when tax was due for a lot of people on the 7th of Feb. The honest truth is these people that had it on that day should have known that they had tax due, not panicking on the weekend, but IRD were gracious enough to say, look, they made a mistake and it's given everyone an extra week. But the new system is there. They have admitted there's some technical difficulties already with it and still working to fix it. They've told us as accountants to keep a list of what we don't like and what we do like. The things we don't, they want to hear about, and they're going to send it and work on those. So if as a client you get on there and go, oh geez, I can't find this, I don't know where it is, give your accountant a call and let them know, because they can put that list through to their account manager, and hopefully over time we get all these little things fixed up.
They're listening.
They are, because this is part of their big transformation. And it looks good. There's 3 good things that have come out of it. The first one is payment arrangements. So previously, if you got in a bit of trouble, you had to get on the phone to them and wait, or get your accountant to ring, and then obviously you get a bill there. Now you can do it all online. So there's a button there, you just go make payment arrangement, and you can go on there and say, this is what I want to pay, and start the negotiations with them. So hopefully it's going to be faster and save a lot of time for everybody.
Can I suggest that with insurance you use a broker because they've got more weight than an individual? Can I suggest the same should happen with IRD?
I would recommend that you talk to your accountant first.
You got my drift there.
Yeah, definitely. But some people still want to go into themselves, so now they've got that option there. But definitely it's better to talk to your accountant and go and let them approach the IRD and do the negotiations.
Well, yeah, I mean the accountants know the language.
Yeah.
And they know.
And we have our own dedicated agent line as well, so we can actually get through to people that can make some good decisions, rather than sometimes someone on the front desk goes, oh, I'll refer it to someone else. So it pays to go through that way.
And without being too silly about the whole thing, it's actually very wise for your accountant to know what you're doing.
Definitely, yeah. If you are in trouble with paying GST, talk to the accountant, because the last thing we want is a letter coming in the mail saying your client has arranged this instalment arrangement, and then we've got to sort of come and find out what's going on.
Do you going to still ring the client and say, listen, what's happening?
Yeah, we'd like to find out, because that is a bit of a warning sign that they've had some trouble. Sometimes it could be just mistiming of cash flow or whatever, but if you are really in trouble,
getting payments late from somebody that owes them
exactly,
money.
yes. But you talk to your accountant and say, hey, look, I've got this problem. There might be some other options other than just arrangements with IRD. There's a few things out there.
Now, Northland drought.
Yes.
I know that sounds like a contradiction in terms, but it is serious.
It is very, very serious. Some of our clients out there have had a bit of relief now that the government's declared a drought region, because obviously they've been destocking flat out, and of course that increases income significantly because we've got all this livestock sales. So the government have come out and said, look, it's a drought region. It means that you can now use the income equalisation scheme to better effect. So basically you can put some money into the scheme now, defer the income, but take it out straight away as well. Previously you have to wait a period of time before you get access to it.
run that over past
So
me
if,
again?
if you say, let's say you sold $100,000 worth of animals today,
Yep.
you could put that into the income equalisation scheme. So it means that it doesn't become taxable income today. You could take it out tomorrow and it becomes taxable income in your next financial year. So you actually got a way of averaging out your income over the next few years.
Because that means because you've just sold $100,000 worth of stock, you've got to replace those when the rains come.
Exactly, yeah. So by sort of deferring the income, you can actually time it better to suit what you need, rather than having a huge upfront tax hit and then further down the track, you know, your profit just gone because you had to buy all this livestock in.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, you know, a bit literally about the tax payments and
Yep.
provisional tax.
Exactly, yeah. You won't have all of those because you've been able to just spread it out over a period of years.
It needs to be declared a drought zone?
It does need to be declared a drought zone. There is a scheme that anyone can use any time, but the money is locked in for a period of months. Whereas this one, you can put it in and take it out straight away because you're a drought zone, because they know you need that money.
They're getting very good, aren't they?
Oh, it's fantastic. They did it for the North Canterbury region, and now the Northland have gone down the same path. So it's brilliant for everyone involved.
Kerry, thank you very much indeed.